Cinderella. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a kind and gentle girl named Cinderella. She lived with her stepmother and two stepsisters, who were not kind at all. They made Cinderella do all the chores in the house. She had to sweep the floors, wash the dishes, feed the animals, and clean the fireplace. The stepmother and stepsisters wore fancy clothes and had soft beds to sleep in. But poor Cinderella had to wear old clothes and sleep on a straw mat by the fireplace. Even though her life was hard, Cinderella was always kind and never complained. One day, a messenger from the palace came to the village. He had an exciting announcement.
The king is hosting a royal ball,
he said.
The prince is looking for someone to marry. The young ladies are invited to the castle.
Cinderella's stepsisters were thrilled.
We must look beautiful,
They shouted. They spent days choosing dresses, trying on shoes, and looking in the mirror. Cinderella helped them get ready, brushing their hair and sewing their gowns.
Can I go to the ball too?
Cinderella asked softly. Her stepmother laughed.
You! In those rags, you're not going anywhere.
On the night of the ball, the stepsisters left in their home black carriage. Cinderella sat by the fire, feeling sad and lonely. She had dreamed of seeing the palace, dancing, and hearing the music. But now she was left behind. Suddenly, a gentle light filled the room. A woman in a glowing dress appeared. She had kind eyes and a sparkling smile.
Don't be afraid.
She said.
I'm your fairy godmother.
With a wave of her wand, the fairy godmother made magic happen. She turned a pumpkin into a golden carriage. She changed mice into beautiful horses, and a lizard into a proud coachman. Then she looked at Cinderella and said,
You need a dress to match.
She waved her wand again. Cinderella's old clothes turned into a shimmering blue gown. She was given sparkling glass slippers on her feet.
Oh, thank you.
Cinderella twirled in joy.
Now, go to the ball, dear child,
said the fairy godmother.
But remember, the magic ends at midnight.
Cinderella climbed into the golden carriage and rode to the palace. When she walked into the ballroom, everyone turned to look. The prince saw her and was amazed. He had never seen anyone so beautiful, so lovely, and with such kind eyes. He walked straight to her.
May I have this dance?
He asked. Cinderella smiled.
Yes, you may.
They danced all evening. They laughed and talked. They felt like old friends. But as the clock began to strike midnight, Cinderella gasped.
I must go.
She cried. She ran down the palace steps, her dress glowing in the moonlight. One of her glass slippers slipped off, but she didn't stop. She jumped into the carriage just as the last bell rang. The magic ended. The horses turned back into mice. The coachman turned into a lizard. The carriage turned back into a pumpkin. And Cinderella was back in her rags. All she had left from that magical night was one glass slipper. The next day, the prince sent his guards across the kingdom.
I must find the girl who fits this slipper.
He said.
She is the one I want to marry.
The guards knocked on every door. The slipper didn't fit anyone. At last, they came to Cinderella's house. The stepsisters pushed and shoved to try the slipper. Their feet were too big.
May I try it on?
Cinderella asked shyly. The stepsisters laughed.
It will never fit you.
But the guard let her try. And guess what? The glass slipper fit perfectly. Then Cinderella pulled the other slipper from her pocket and placed it on her other foot.
She's the one!
The guard cried. Soon, a carriage arrived from the palace. The prince helped Cinderella step in. He smiled at her with joy. Cinderella waved goodbye to the old house. She forgave her stepsisters, even though they had been unkind. Her heart was full of happiness. At the palace, the prince and Cinderella were married in a grand celebration. Bells rang, music played, and everyone cheered. And from that day on, Cinderella lived happily ever after. She was not just a princess. She was a kind, gentle, and loving queen. She always remembered to be thankful and good. And she never forgot how a little kindness, a little courage, and a little magic could change everything. The end.